Okay, so it's live right now. Let's see if it's working. Open up YouTube. It's a little bit delayed on YouTube, I've noticed as well, so. Good to go. Okay, cool. So we'll give a couple minutes for some folks to jump on. Yeah. Cool. So you had class today?
Just one, yeah, just one this morning and then one tonight.
Nice.
Like a film viewing tonight. Every Wednesday, part of our film class.
That's cool. Still bummed they made you take down your website. That's lame.
Just submitted my personal statement to the NCAA yesterday, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're still waiting to hear back from them. What they did.
Yeah, I just think it's crap. I'm gonna actually come in this room. Okay, cool. Okay. Cool, so some people are hopping on. Hey guys, as you're coming in. Whoops. I'm trying to escape the gaming. My husband gets home and wants to chill out, and he's got the games going. So it's 7:30 or 7:29 now, guys, Eastern time. So we're gonna hang out here for just a minute and let some folks pop in, and then we'll get started. I was hoping. Let's see. Okay. Well, I might be an expert once we're done with this. Cool. Okay. Live chat. Hey guys, yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad you guys could join us. So we got Fort Myers in the house, Tampa over here, Broxton, California. What city are you in?
Davis.
Davis.
Yeah.
UC Davis.
Northern Cal.
Yeah. Cool. Hey, Kim. Oh, come on. Okay. Okay. I'm figuring it out over here. We're getting it. All right, guys, as you're coming in, tell me where you're coming in from. That way we know where everybody is in the house from today. So they're saying it's freezing. Cape Coral. We have a lot of Florida folks in here.
Nice.
Pensacola. If it's freezing, guys, just bear with us. I'm trying to see if maybe I don't think it's my internet. I've got a pretty good connection, so.
I should, yeah, should have a good connection too.
Yeah. Just bear with. Okay. Okay, they said it's working now. Cool. Orlando, Homosassa. Yeah, all these people are from Florida. Cool, cool. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Folks can join us as they come in. So I just want to thank everybody for coming on tonight. I follow Brock on Snapchat, and he's definitely skilled at his Snapchat game. So, you know, I wanted to take the opportunity to just have him on and hopefully help us to understand a little bit more the functionality of Snapchat, some of the cool features that it has, and how we can really leverage it for our coaching business and connecting with people and allowing it to help us grow what we're doing as coaches. So I just want to thank him for coming on today and helping us understand a little bit more what we can do with it. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to Brock and help him get started. And I'm going to mute myself so that you have the floor.
All right, awesome. Thanks so much. And thanks so much for everyone for being here. I really appreciate it. I know it's in the middle of the week and you're going through and you got lots of things you could be doing right now, but I appreciate everyone hopping on to listen to me talk about Snapchat for a little bit. I think a lot of people, in fact, I know a lot of people are scared of Snapchat. They don't know how to use it. They think it's an app that's just for teens, an app filled with inappropriate stuff and creepers, and they're just generally scared of Snapchat. And it reminds me of how I used to be scared of sushi. So growing up, my parents, I mean, we're from Southern California. We're near the beach, so we loved sushi. My parents would go to sushi all the time. My younger sister would eat it. But personally, I was terrified of it. I wouldn't go near it. I wouldn't touch it. I was the person who, when we went to the sushi restaurant, I would order steak. I would get the most American thing on the menu and try and stay away from the sushi. One day, though, with encouragement from my girlfriend, Haley, I tried it. And I've never gone back. I love sushi now. I look for sushi no matter what city I'm in. I want to find their best sushi restaurant and go try it. And so I think a lot of people are scared the same way I was with sushi. They're scared of Snapchat. And I'm hoping today I can be that encouragement for you, to give you that little nudge to get on Snapchat, because I think once you are on Snapchat, you will be shocked at the benefit it can bring to your business. I've seen it work for my business. I've seen it work for my mom's business. I have plenty of family and friends who are Beachbody coaches, plenty of family and friends who aren't Beachbody coaches and have their own businesses on Snapchat, and the way they are crushing it. And I think people absolutely are crushing it on Snapchat because of the live video component and the reason and the fact that people feel so connected with you on Snapchat. Today, I wanted to share my top 3 favorite things that you should be doing as a coach on Snapchat. The 3 things that Snapchat allows you to do that's very unique, unlike any other social media platform, better than any other social media platform, to help you crush it for your business on Snapchat. Let's get right to it. The first one is that you're able to create real relationships on Snapchat. When I was doing my first ever call with my Aunt Janelle, I asked her what it is that a coach needs the most. And she said, Brock, the most important thing is not selling, but rather forming real relationships with these people. No one will sign up under you. No one will become a coach and join your team unless they know, like, and trust you. And there's no better way to get people to know, like, and trust you than through live video, just like we are right now. But Facebook Live can be scary. YouTube Live can be very scary. All these live platforms can be very scary and very challenging. You have to know what you're going to talk about, script what you're going to say. You have to look all pretty, get your hair done, put your makeup on, and be ready to talk for 45 minutes straight. That's hard. That's hard for someone like me who's pretty long-winded and talks a while on Snapchat. It's hard to do something like this. It's much, much easier to pop over onto Snapchat and record 10-second videos one at a time. It's much simpler, and it's not actually live because you're not like immediately seeing the person, but because of the way people interact with Snapchat, because you're literally on it in a snap, you move so quickly through it, it feels like it is live, and it connects with people like it's live. So people watch my snaps, and I'll get messages all the time. Brock, I've only been following you for a day, and I feel like I know you. And that's the benefit of live video. So through Snapchat, which is the easiest live video platform, you can form real connections with people who can eventually become coaches, customers, whatever it is, even friends. And I don't know, maybe you're gonna meet your spouse on Snapchat. I don't know. The second great thing that I love about Snapchat for Beachbody coaches is that you can easily direct people to Facebook Lives, to whatever you want. You can direct them to links to your website, whatever it is you want, very easily on Snapchat. If you send a link, if you put a link in the comments on Instagram, you can't click on that link. You have to tell people, hey, go over to my bio and then click on a link. There's multiple steps in that process. It's hard to get people to click on a link in your bio on Instagram. You can't direct message people a URL on Instagram and then they can open it. It's not available as of right now. But you can on Snapchat. And I love this feature, and I do it all the time. And I think you should definitely write this down, because this is the best way to get engagement from your snaps, and that is asking people to swipe up. Snapchat has an awesome feature where you can swipe up from the bottom, and then someone is immediately able to send you a chat. Once they send you a chat, they've started a one-on-one communication with you. So there's that real relationship that we were just talking about. And then within that one-on-one conversation, you can send them a URL to the YouTube video you just uploaded, the Facebook Live that you just did, your website where you just put your new blog post or your new recipe up. You can send that to them directly, and they can open it within Snapchat without ever having to leave the app. It opens right there, and they're able to go to whatever link you want. So that's why the number 2 thing that I love for Beachbody coaches on Snapchat is the ability to send links directly. And also the number 1 thing is that you can form real connections. The third thing that I love about Snapchat for Beachbody coaches is the urgency that's created on Snapchat. So I think many of us know this, and many of us may think that this is a negative thing about Snapchat. It only lasts for a day, so I have to create new content on a daily basis. Yeah, you could look at it that way, but I think the real way you should be looking at it is that people only have 1 day to act on whatever it is you're making available. So there's a natural urgency there. If someone sees your snap, they're not going to wait and come back to it later. They're not going to write it down in their notes. They're not going to plan to come back to your Snapchats in a few days, because they know that that snap won't be available. Because when you post to your Snapchat My Story, which is basically your page on Snapchat, your Facebook profile, that's basically what your My Story is on Snapchat. It's only available for 24 hours. And once that 24 hours is up, that snap is gone forever. So there's a natural urgency there. If you have any sort of deal, people will love to move from your Instagram, from your Facebook to your Snapchat to get that deal. It's a great way to create urgency for people to just add you on Snapchat in general. If someone's following you on Instagram and you put on your Instagram story, you put on an Instagram post, hey guys, I'm having a flash sale, 20% off, head over to my Snapchat account and get the special discount, or whatever it is. Maybe you put on your Instagram story the first 3 ingredients for a new recipe that you're making for an awesome Shakeology shake. And you say, hey, if you want the rest of the ingredients, add me on Snapchat, and you can see the full recipe there. You do the same things with workouts, basically an infinite amount of things you can create an urgency with on Snapchat. And it's awesome because unlike any other platform where it lasts forever, Snapchat is gone in just a day. So there's a natural urgency there for people to want to connect with you, for people to want to watch your snaps. And that's why on Snapchat, this is a mind-blowing fact. On Snapchat, there's 18 billion views per day. 18 billion snap views per day. On YouTube, there's only 5 billion. When I heard that, that blew me away. There's almost 4 times more views on Snapchat on a daily basis. There's also more data transferred on Snapchat than there is on Facebook. Facebook has 1.8, I believe now, billion users. That's insane. That's like a third of the earth is using Facebook. Yet there's more data being sent on Snapchat on a daily basis. So people are there. A lot of people like to say, but Brock, there's just nobody on Snapchat. Snapchat's just for millennials. It's just for teens. Well, you just said two different things, because millennials aren't teens. Anyone born after pretty much 1980 is a millennial. So yeah, millennials used to be teens, but millennials aren't teens anymore. And when Snapchat first started, it was dominated by teens, but it's not anymore. It now reaches more, the percentage-wise, it reaches more 35 to 45, 45 to 55, and 55 and up than YouTube. So you can actually reach more people of an older age demographic on Snapchat than you can on YouTube. That's pretty surprising. I think most people don't know that. I think most people have this preconceived notion that Snapchat is just an inappropriate messaging app for teens, because to be honest, when it started about 6 years ago, that's what the majority of the users were using it for. But now there's basically a new Snapchat update coming out every single week, and it's making it better and better and better for businesses. I've seen so many business owners crush it on Snapchat. People who don't have a huge following, people who are just starting out, who just make a Snapchat account, they think just have fun. And then they start using it for business, and they start seeing the return on investment and how crazy awesome it is on Snapchat. And you'll have fun doing it, because, I mean, there's no more fun place to hang out than on Snapchat. And that's why people use Snapchat for, on average, about 35 minutes per day. People are just addicted to Snapchat. And those are, so again, the three things that I love about Snapchat for Beachbody businesses is creating urgency, forming real connections, and then the ability to send links directly within Snapchat.
Awesome. Those are really good tips. Helps us to figure out how we can actually leverage it for our business. What are some of the ways that you would suggest, like a coach? Like, I know that a lot of coaches will use it for, let's say, sharing workouts and stuff like that, just snippets. Like, how would you say a good way to leverage Snapchat to share workouts, or get them maybe to come to other platforms as well?
Yeah. So you can always say, I mean, just like I was saying, you can share part of it on Instagram and then tell them to find the rest on Snapchat. You can do the same thing. So I know that one of our family friends, Molly Richards, last week was posting about these awesome protein bites that you put in the freezer, and she was saying how good they are, and she was showing pictures of her family eating them, and she was showing herself making them a little bit. And I was like, Molly, what's the recipe? And she's like, hold on, I'll post it tomorrow. So now I'm like drawn in, and I can't wait to see what the recipe is tomorrow. And I'm checking Snapchat again to see right when she posts it. And she posted part of the recipe and then said, swipe up and I'll send you the link to my Facebook page where the rest of the recipe is. Actually, I think it was her website. Swipe up and I will send you the link to my website, and you can find the full recipe there. You can do the same thing with workouts. So maybe if you don't have to post every single workout you do every single day, but rather if you do, maybe a couple workouts a week, you post on Snapchat when you remember to, and you just say, hey, if you want my daily workout plan, if you want to go through this challenge with me, swipe up and I'll send you the link to my Facebook page, my website, whatever it is, my blog, and you can follow me there and get all of the updates there. So it's a great way to direct people to your Facebook page or to your website or whatever it is you want to send them to, and you can do that super duper easily on Snapchat.
Cool. Question for you. And this is a question that I've had, how would we actually use Snapchat to, let's say, grow like our following or, our business in that sense? Like how are we supposed to use it in order to get more followers on Snapchat?
Yeah. So I think a lot of people are really focused on followers, and that's because that's kind of what the world is focused on. That's what Instagram's focused on. That's what Facebook's focused. That's what it's all about. On YouTube, it's all about subscribers. It's all about how many people can I get following me. On Snapchat, it's more about how many people can I get viewing my story on a daily basis. And what's awesome about the live video component of Snapchat is that you don't need as many followers. So to begin with, I should preface this, I have within 4 months, I have grown my Snapchat following higher than my Instagram following in 5 years. So my Instagram has hit about, it's almost at 5,000 now. I'm like 10 away. And my Snapchat blew up to 7,000 in just a matter of months. And what's awesome about that is now that 7,000 of your followers, the average is about 60% will watch your story. This is a big difference from Instagram, where only 10% will watch your story. So I said this the other day on my story, and that was that, so if you had 100 followers on Instagram, you're only going to get 10 views on your Instagram story. But if you have 100 followers on Snapchat, you're going to get 60 views. So you don't need as many followers on Snapchat to get the same view rates as you would on Instagram or Facebook or any of these other platforms. But what's great is you can create these real connections. You connect with people so that they're more likely to trust you. They're more likely to become a coach. So rather than reaching 1 million people and having a few trust you, a few do their research, and a few join your team, you can reach a couple hundred people and have all of those people feel totally engaged and feel like they're your best friend in your hand, a part of your life, and you're just forming a better connection with those people. It's much more about quality over quantity on Snapchat.
Right. Question from the watchers. Is there a good, better, and best type of content to post to get more people to follow you?
I love that question. That's awesome. Let's say good, better, and best. Best, document. The best thing you can do is just document. Be real, be authentic, talk about your ups and your downs. And a lot of people struggle with this because they'll think that they have to be all about one thing. They have to stay in a niche. They have to only talk about Beachbody. They have to only talk about working out. They have to only talk about Shakeology. But they're a real person, and people connect with real people. So if you're just real and you talk about your life, you talk about your struggles, you talk about, I have a thing right now going on called the cabinet wars, where one of my roommates is leaving a cabinet open. I don't know why. It makes no sense why he leaves just one cabinet open, but it's always the same cabinet. And I put it on my Snap every single day, and people are loving it. Everyone's swiping up, dying laughing, saying, I love this. Like, even when it's not on my story, I'll get people swiping up saying, Brock, what's going on in the cabinet wars? I want to know what's going on. Is it open or is it closed right now? And it's because that's real life. Everyone has a crazy roommate at one point in their life, and so everyone can relate to that. And most people think, oh, my life is just mundane. I do the same old things. Well, if you're doing the same old things, and if you're doing what everyone else is doing, then everyone will be able to connect to you. And because you're a unique individual, you'll have your unique view on it, and people will like to see that, and they'll learn about the real you. And if they like you, then they'll keep following you, and they'll keep watching, and eventually they'll trust you, and they'll want to become a coach. But you can only do that really with live video, and that's why I think Snapchat is so awesome, because it is a great live video platform. Let's see, a good thing to snap about is, just your daily workout, your daily recipes, just the things that do add value to people's lives that aren't that personal. So every single day I do a Snap happy tip of the day. That doesn't really have much to do with me. My face isn't anywhere on it. They're not quotes that I come up with, but it is valuable to people, and it does, brighten people's day, or it's a little bit of happiness to people's day. So that is a good thing to be posting on Snapchat, is things that are not necessarily super personal, but definitely still of benefit to your viewers. And things that aren't good to post are things that are generic, like things that don't have any value to anyone, or things that are just direct selling. Like, you should not be on Snapchat direct selling, telling people, this is what you need to buy, this is what you need to do, you need to go here, you need to do this for me, I need you to do this, you have to do this. I say, if you're going to sell on Snapchat and you're going to try and pitch to people, at least try and keep it down to about 20% of the time. I know I've followed people where all they do is try and sell. That's the only thing they try and do on Snapchat. They're just trying to use it as a walking advertisement, and that's such a turnoff and such an unfollow precursor. I'm definitely going to unfollow you if all you're doing is selling on Snapchat.
Yeah. I know one of the things that that you've said, because I follow you on Snapchat, obviously, so I've gotten a lot of tips. One of the things that you say a lot is, don't plan your content on Snapchat. Like, a lot of us plan what we're posting on Facebook because it's a little bit more strategic. You have a lot more room to add a lot of text and stuff like that. So a lot of us can pre-plan and schedule what we're going to post. And I like how you've said, like, don't plan what you're posting on Snapchat, just go with it.
Yep. That's why I say, like, document, don't create. So people are worried about like creating content. They're like, oh, I have to make all these fancy text posts for Facebook, and I have to make YouTube videos, and I have to make pretty pictures for Instagram. Now I have to plan all these daily stories for Snapchat. I have never once planned a single moment of my Snapchat. I roll out of bed, and whatever is interesting or funny or going on in my life that day, I'll talk about it, I'll show it, I'll tell a story. If there's a new Snapchat update, which is basically on a daily basis recently, I'll talk about that and explain what's going on. But I don't ever wake up. I don't have a storyboard. I've seen people online who claim to be Snapchat gurus saying, here's our storyboard template so that you can plan your stories in advance. Who wants to plan their story in advance? Who has time to plan their story in advance? It's called Snapchat because you're supposed to be in and out in a snap. You're supposed to be on it for a second, and then you're off it. You're supposed to be getting your information, watching other people's snaps, posting on your story, and then you're done. It's not supposed to be like a daily, long time consuming task. It's supposed to be fun and quick. You're in and you're out. So I don't think you should plan your snaps at all. Just roll out of bed, and whatever's funny or interesting or exciting that day, snap about it, talk about it.
Right. Question from the broadcast: where do we see how many people are following us? Like, how do you get there and actually even know how many people are following you?
You actually can't know. There is no official way to view how many people are actually following you. The real number you should be looking for is how many people are viewing your story, which when you look at the stories page in the top right, you'll see 3 little buttons. And when you tap on those, it'll drop down a menu, and you'll see each of the individual snaps on your story, and it'll show you how many people have viewed each individual snap. And that's really the number that is more valuable anyway. So that's the number that you can look for. I know a lot of people have said that I've gotten messages asking like, but I want to compare how many followers I have to how many viewers. And unfortunately, there is no official way. There are some services online that you can shell out a couple $100 and they claim they'll give you an exact number, but there's no real hard evidence way of finding the exact number of followers you have on Snapchat.
Right. Okay. As a brand new Beachbody coach, what's the best way to get connected with new Snapchat followers? So kind of a follow-up from the earlier discussion.
Yeah. So a great one, and this is something that should be definitely written down, taken note, and downloaded, is Ghost Codes. It's a separate application. It's not affiliated with Snapchat in any way, but basically what it is a Snapchat directory. It's the yellow book pages for Snapchat. People put their information in there, and when you first get on, you'll sign up and you'll put in your Snapchat username. You'll put in your Snap code, which is basically like a barcode that people can add you on Snapchat with. And then once you create an account, you'll get a lot of followers. So you'll get probably, I'm not gonna guarantee it, but you'll probably get 50 followers that night. When I first did it, I got 50 followers that night. That seems to be the average. And these are real people. There are no such things as robot followers on Snapchat. These are 50 real people who will follow you overnight. And 50 followers on Snapchat is good. 50 followers is not bad. 50 followers is what I had for a good 3-4 months there. So Ghost Codes, definitely a place where I think you should sign up, put in your information. Don't spend a lot of time, if you're a business owner, you're not going to distribute the yellow book pages. You put your business in the yellow book pages and you let the yellow book pages do their job. So once you have put your business in there, don't keep going on Ghost Codes and trying to do different things on there and be creative. Your time should be spent on Snapchat. If you want to find Snapchatters, you can also do that through Ghost Codes. So if you want to look for people in the fitness category or the self-help category or whatever it is, or parenting category, you can find them on Ghost Codes. But besides that, much time on Ghost Codes, but definitely set up an account and you'll see an immediate follower boost.
Right. What do you think about sharing content? So like repurposing content either from somewhere else to Snapchat or from Snapchat to somewhere else? Yeah,
that's an awesome question. So from other places to Snapchat is a big no-no. And this is not just me saying this is Snapchat themselves saying that it's a big no-no. They try and ward off people bringing in separate videos videos and content made outside of Snapchat, they try and keep you from doing that by making it look less visually appealing. So when you post on Snapchat, it takes up the entire phone screen. When you take something from an outside place and try and repurpose it, it indents the video, makes it have a little white border to it, and it's far less visually appealing. So people connect with it less, and it's a dead giveaway that this person didn't make this video on Snapchat. They're bringing it here from somewhere else. So I try and say that, you know, like Snapchat is trying to warn you off. If they're trying to warn you off, it's for a reason. It's because it doesn't connect with people. So you shouldn't be bringing other content to Snapchat. On the other hand, though, you can definitely bring Snapchat content to other places. It's very easy to download your entire story and share that onto Facebook as an Instagram video, or download individual snaps and post them to your Instagram. So my mom has been doing this recently. She's been posting almost 100% of her snaps, all of her snaps from her Snap story to her Instagram story. And she has seen a large increase in her Instagram account. So she's actually seen her following go up a lot on Instagram from sharing her snaps onto her Instagram story. I don't recommend you do this unless you already have a big following. If your focus is trying to grow your Snapchat following, then I recommend taking some of your snaps, some of your very best ones, like I said earlier, sharing parts of your recipes, parts of your workouts, parts of your story onto Instagram and onto Facebook stories, and maybe leaving a little cliffhanger. Like, you know, when you're watching that awesome show and it cuts to commercial break, you can cut to commercial break on your Instagram story and on your Facebook story and say, hey, if you want to see the rest of that story, if you want to see the resolution, if you want to get the rest of these tips, if you want to get the rest of this recipe, workout, whatever it is, add me on Snap, and then give them your Snap username. And you'll see lots of people being, like we talked about earlier, the urgency. They know it only lasts for 24 hours. So like, oh, I got to go to Snapchat right now to get what this content is before it disappears.
Right. You talked about this recently on your Snapchat. What would you say for people who are trying to, like, let's say someone on this call doesn't even have Snapchat yet. What's the best, like, username to use on your Snapchat?
Yeah. So people, it was sad. I actually had to make this because so many people were messaging me and their name was like Dragon Slayer 573. And then they were like, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Katie and I'm a Beachbody coach. And I was like, then why is your name Dragon Slayer whatever? And it was because they made their Snapchat account to be fun, not realizing that their username is very important. And your username is very important on Snapchat because it's the only way people can search for you. On Snapchat, you can't just type in Brock and find me. You have to type in Brock11 Johnson because that's my Snapchat username. If you don't, actually, wait, that's not even it. Is that it? Yeah, it's 11 Brock Johnson. 11 Brock Johnson. Is that? I'm so confused right now. This is going to drive me nuts. I should know my, okay, I was right the first time. Brock 11 Johnson. I shouldn't doubt myself. Brock 11 Johnson. And if you don't spell that right, and if you can't remember it, then people aren't going to be able to add you. So if your name is Dragon Slayer 5789, then people are never going to be able to find you. So I created a free PDF username guide on usernameSnapchat.com. UsernameSnapchat.com. Just put in your email and I'll send you the free guide to help you come up with a great, easy to find, easy to spell, easy to remember username. And that should help you out. That should get you started. And you will see your following go up if you have an easier username. And also, I think that guide is a great resource for people who already have an account and they have the Dragon Slayer name. So if you already have some followers and you're bummed because you can't change your username and you have this not so great username, in that guide, I talk to you about getting your followers from your old account to your new account, what it takes to get started on the new account and start growing your following and getting more people to follow you on the new account with the better username. So that's usernameSnapchat.com.
Cool. So we can't change our usernames once they're set up. You can't edit that.
Yeah, no, you can change your display name, which is like the way it appears. So it's just like on Instagram, you have like your username and you have your display name, and you can change both on Instagram. On Snapchat, you can only change your display name, but that does you no good because people can't search you by your display name. They can only search you by your actual username, and that is not changeable once you make your account.
Right. Okay. This is a big question because I know a lot of us have been getting put in Facebook jail for using music, like non-royalty free music. Is that something that can happen in Snapchat or no?
No, absolutely not. No. You can snap with music as much as you want. You can do your entire workout with music playing on your phone. Part of my Snap Happy tip of the day is music. I usually just go on Spotify and find some like little soft music that like is peaceful and happy or has a nice little beat to it. And you can use whatever music you want. You can use your son's rap music. You can use a princess music, whatever music you want. You can use it on Snapchat, and there will be no penalty. There's no copyright rules on Snapchat. You can use whatever you want.
Cool. Yeah, that's a good thing because I've been put in Facebook jail way too many times for that. So
post on YouTube, and I would get put in YouTube jail all the time.
Yeah, it's so irritating. So the questions are done. But my last takeaway is, what parting words would you leave everybody when it comes to Snapchat and why they should use it, at least consider it, and then how they should, going forward?
Yeah, so let's see. Well, definitely my number one thing that I tell people is document, don't create. And I think that should help you get over the fear a little bit and just don't be scared of it. I've seen so many people, including myself, crush it with their business on Snapchat, big businesses, small businesses. It's the place to be right now. It's expected to grow 17% this year. Instagram is expected to grow 5%. So it is the place to be. And in this ever-changing market that is social media, you have to be on top of the game, and you have to be wherever the people are at right now. And right now, the people are flooding to Snapchat. In a year, in 2 years, that could change. But as of right now, Snapchat is the place to be. And I like to say, imagine if you were on Facebook in 2009, how amazing that would be. Imagine if you were on Instagram in 2011, before it blew up. Imagine if your account was able to blow up with Instagram. That is how it is right now on Snapchat. So if you get your brand, yourself on Snapchat right now, you will see it blow up just like Snapchat is, and you will see that amazing growth potential that everyone's been talking about.
Cool. All right, Brock. Well, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you guys got some really great takeaways from that. I definitely recommend trying Snapchat out. It's fun. You can really be you. Don't put makeup on, just have a good time. And it's really a cool little place, to be and to form connections and stuff. Definitely follow Brock, on his Snapchat account. He's got daily tips on there, which is super, super helpful. Anytime updates come out, he's on it, and he's got some tips on there and tutorials and little bitty things like that. So it's really helpful. I know I've learned a whole heck of a lot from Brock's Snapchat stories. So again, thank you so much. And I'm going to go ahead and end broadcast, guys, and say goodbye.
Thank you.